From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, April 3rd, 2023. Go ahead and jump in, take a look at temperatures warmer in the west, cooler in the east today. -6 in Winnipeg, -6 in Calgary, -4 in southern Alberta, but you can find some -12, -11 readings there in Saskatoon and Regina. So maybe cooler central here. You get a little bit warmer as you head all the way into far southeastern portions of Manitoba. As we look at the radar here, not animating this, but we've got some light snow falling across portions of central and southern Saskatchewan. Maybe some flurries in Saskatoon, Regina this morning, perhaps some snowflakes in the Brandon area, maybe some flakes in Medicine Hat. Can't even rule out a couple of those in Calgary either, but accumulation should be rather light and inconsequential. But you do see the blizzard warning, winter storm watches here across parts of the Dakotas. We'll be watching for some heavier snow to make its way into southern, especially southeastern portions of Manitoba as we get into the middle part of the week. Now, as we look at the satellite picture here, infrared, the strongest jet stream winds, again, continue to be focused right here, coming around the base of a trough that's kind of sliding into the western U.S., going to set the stage for another round of severe storms across parts of the central United States. And then again, that heavy snow on the north side of that storm track, that'll be falling across parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, and southern and southeastern Winnipeg, Manitoba. So we'll look at the precipitation type forecast here from the NAM model. There you see it sliding through Wednesday and Thursday. We'll pause this and bring it back. Here's the light snow that you can find across parts of southern Saskatchewan through the day today. Again, very light, maybe a couple centimeters of accumulation here, just enough to kind of coat the ground, maybe make some slick spots on some of the roads, but overall not a significant snow producer. What will be a significant snow producer is, again, that storm that lifts out of the central U.S. as we get into Wednesday and Wednesday night, maybe into Thursday morning, snow lingering across southeastern portions of Manitoba. But here you see it. Again, high winds, heavy snow across the very southern tier of Manitoba. Perhaps some snow here in extreme southeastern Saskatchewan. Not terribly likely, though. Again, this one likely going to miss us to the south and to the east for the most part. And that's about it for the next 5 to 7 days. So we'll look at total snow between now and midday Thursday. Again, some very light snow expected today. This comes Wednesday into Wednesday night. And then that is it as we head through the end of the week. Side by side, NAM on the left, European on the right. As I said, maybe a centimeter or two, just enough to coat the ground, create some slick spots in parts of southern Saskatchewan today. And then as we get into Wednesday, watching for heavy snow and high winds to make their way through the Dakotas, northern Minnesota, and southeastern portions of Manitoba. Total liquid precipitation over the next 7 days, so this takes us through April 10th. Again, not much to talk about. This is falling here over the next 24 hours. This is your Wednesday precipitation. And then we see some opportunities for just some light showers, maybe some snow showers as we get into the early part of next week, maybe the weekend into early next week. And we're going to see a bit of a warm-up here. I'll show you what's happening with the jet stream. We're looking at 500 millibar height anomalies here. Here's the pattern, very amplified, very wavy. This is the storm system that's bringing the severe weather, the heavy rain to parts of the central U.S. and the snow on the north side of that storm track. Now, as we go ahead and animate this, you'll see some changes over the next 4 to 5 days. I'll play it through once, and then we'll go back through time. You see some big changes there, some adjustments to the pattern across North America. So over the next 24 hours, pretty disorganized across the region. The heavier, or I should say more intense, jet stream flow coming around the base of this trough right here. As we get into the Wednesday, Thursday timeframe, you see this storm system lifting through the Dakotas into northern Minnesota. This is when we'll see that heavy snow across just southern and southeastern portions of Manitoba, the Dakotas, northern Minnesota, seeing that heavy snow and high winds as well. Now, as we get into the end of the week and the weekend, here's a little chance for some showers Saturday into Sunday with this little minor disturbance you see right here. And then on the backside of that, we see ridging across the prairie. That's going to allow for some warmer temperatures to make their way in, at least for several days. The pattern does continue to be progressive after that. As we get all the way out to day 10, we see another wave trying to make its way in here across the Pacific Northwest. Low confidence on any impacts from that, but that would certainly set the table for some more precipitation across the region. So we're getting it in small bursts here, every 7 to 8 days. Not a real heavy storm system tracking through the region just yet. Maybe we'll see that as we get deeper into April, early May, similar to what we saw in 2023. We've got a bit of a pattern shakeup though here mid-April, so confidence starts to kind of trail off as we get beyond that. So now we'll take a look at the European model, the precipitation forecast over the next 10 days. So this will get us a bit of an idea of what we're looking at over the next 1 to 2 weeks. Again, we've covered pretty much in depth the light snow across southern Saskatchewan today, the heavy snow that lifts into southern Manitoba on Wednesday. This is our blizzard across the northern plains, northern Minnesota. Likely see some blizzard conditions across at least southeastern Manitoba. The Winnipeg area will likely see heavy snow and high winds as we head through the day on Wednesday, maybe even the Brandon area. And then, as I said, not impossible, we could see some of that snow make its way into southeastern Saskatchewan, getting close to the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. But by and large, this is a southern Manitoba, Dakotas, northern Minnesota winter storm event. On the backside of that, we're quiet as we head into Thursday and Friday. This is when we get that weekend chance. Here's that little compact disturbance that makes its way in. Again, not producing a lot in the way of heavy precipitation, but you can see a chance for some rain or snow showers on Saturday with those warmer temperatures, getting the chance for some liquid precipitation, maybe a rain-snow mix there. A warmer and quiet end to the weekend and beginning to next week. This is when we see that ridging across the region. We'll see more mild temperatures making their way in. But then as we get towards day 10 in this forecast, you remember I saw that next little trough trying to make its way in. This is 10 days out there, so low confidence in the specifics, but this could certainly open us up to more in the way of at least scattered shower activity. So this kind of drives it home. On the left, a probability of more than a tenth of an inch of precipitation over the next 7 days, and then on the right, the total probability of picking up a half an inch or more of total precipitation over the next week. So you see it here, certainly the chance to pick up a tenth of an inch here with that light snow falling across southern Saskatchewan. And then you see the blizzard that lifts into the Dakotas and southeastern Saskatchewan here Wednesday. But by and large, we're talking about light precipitation chances over the next 10 days as a whole across the prairie, unless you fall in that blizzard there across southern Manitoba. On Wednesday, we're looking at very light scattered opportunities this weekend into early next week. One last look, total snowfall forecast here. Again, a heavy corridor expected to cross the Dakotas, northern Minnesota, southern and southeastern portions of Saskatchewan. So we see the chance for 8 to 12 inches of snow. That's going to come with some high winds. Very light snow possible in southern Saskatchewan today. And then as we head through the rest of the weekend into early next week, we'll be talking about scattered opportunities for some rain or snow showers. As promised, here's a look at your temperatures over the next 10 days, a sliding 5-day window. You see that warm up coming this weekend into early next week. Take a look at what that looks like with some of our cities here. Calgary getting into the mid to upper teens as we get into the end of the weekend, early next week. This warm up around April 7th through the 12th is where we'll see the warmest temperatures. Edmonton even headed for a high of 15 above on Monday and Tuesday next week. Here's a look at Saskatoon, a little more delayed, that warm-up coming in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where we have some snow on the ground. Of course, we'll need to use some energy melting that, so the warm-up not quite as intense and not quite as sudden in some of the areas that we have the snow on the ground right now, at least several inches of that. Regina, again, warming up to the 10-degree mark as we get into the early next week. And then Winnipeg, you're going to be seeing a blizzard over the next couple of days, so a lot of snow on the ground here. It's going to take some of that warm-up to melt some of that. So again, only getting up into the middle single digits as we get to the early part of next week. With all that snow on the ground, we'll do some work melting it, but again, some of that effort is going to take away from those high temperatures, so not feeling quite the warm-up that we'll see across western portions of the prairie. Have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you again on Monday, April 10th.